Welcome to Food Science and Nutrition. This course ties in well with PE, health and social care, and medical science. It involves lots of practical tasks, so cooking is something you enjoy and love experimenting with. It's also perfect for you. You have more opportunity to find dishes for yourself rather than given to you by your teacher, so researching dishes and trying out your skills you might not have had the confidence to do before, as well as practicing existing practical skills. Year 12 is a busy year. You'll be doing a lot of practical work in this year, as well as learning all about nutrition. The final piece of coursework and exam are all about nutrition and relationships between food and health. There is a 3.5-hour practical exam which is connected to the topic given to us by the exam board and has accompanying written coursework. This slide shows the main aims and purpose of Unit 1, which is what you will be doing in Year 12. The assessment for all the learning aims is done through practical work and written work, and it is internally assessed. As I said, the practical exam involves research, organisation, and lots of practice. Don't be put off if you've not done food at GCSE level. We have had lots of students who have joined this course without a GCSE in the subject who have still done very well, but you do need to have a love of cooking, otherwise you might find it more difficult. Here are some examples of types of scenarios you will have in Unit 1. You will design a menu that suits your scenario and fulfill the nutritional needs of its subjects. So, for example, in the second brief, on option B, the subject is a children's diet. So you will obviously base your knowledge on children's nutritional needs when it comes to planning. We try to tie in cooking tasks with topics that you will be studying theoretically and put more onus onto you to think up the dishes. This way we feel you can really explore different types of dishes and also improve your skills. We do of course give plenty of guidance for this. As I said before, complex dishes are expected with more than one skill shown in each dish, and a variety of dishes will need to be shown in your final exam. We go into greater detail of the main nutrients and how our bodies use all the various nutrients and what happens if we do not have enough of certain nutrients. We look also into intolerances and modern technology with processing food and how this affects our eating habits. Okay, so we've discussed Year 12, now we're into Year 13. We have 2 more units to do. One is internally assessed and the final one is externally assessed. We always start Unit 3 in September of Year 13, as this is when the exam board releases the scenario. It means repeating various experiments and analysing results to achieve the best outcomes. For example, you may have to improve a type of fruited bread, which means trying out many different experiments on breads using maybe, first of all, on different flours, such as wholemeal, potato flour, gluten-free flours, and then you maybe then change your experiment and try different fruits. You analyse your results and record them all. So this slide just basically shows you an outline of the main aims and purposes of Unit 3 and how you're obviously trying to learn from your problems that you are given in your scenario and how you're going to solve the food problems. Here are 2 examples of scenarios we have done in the last 2 years. If you have done GCSE, it is similar take on your science experiments, except as you can see, you have more than one problem to investigate. This slide shows the aims and purposes of Unit 2, which is the last unit of Year 13. We look closely at bacteria, molds and viruses and how they spread, very apt at the moment, and what we can put in place to prevent it, e.g. risk assessments, etc. It's a very relevant topic for everyone as we do it in our everyday lives, but it also looks at the business side of keeping everyone safe. This slide shows an example of a scenario used in Unit 2 final assessment. It is released at the beginning of May and you have 8 hours to complete the work. It has to be externally marked. You are able to use your written notes in the assessment. And finally, these are some of the things you might just want to bring into school when you start in year 12. A4 ring binder, definitely very important. I suggest you bring dividers as well. You might want a large A4 ring binder, not a small one, because there is quite a lot of notes that you will gather. You will need a cooking apron. We like white aprons for sixth formers. You can buy it from us at school for £8. There's also a book that I put at the bottom there that you can order from Amazon. That's very useful for year 12. It's not, it doesn't contain so much of the work you need to do in year 13, but it is useful for year 12. And also, please do the work on the VLE that we set for you to do over the summer, as it will help you when you do your first practical lesson. Thank you for coming and being interested so much in food science and nutrition.